You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Tuesday the 30th of September 2025. It is 8 days after the fall equinox. It is 82 days before the winter solstice. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 9th day of Vendémiaire, the day of the panais, the parsnip. The sun rises today at 6:52 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:46 p.m. The sun sets today at 6:39 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 7:06 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 7:38 p.m. The length of daytime today is 2 minutes 40 seconds shorter than yesterday. The moon is in its waxing gibbous phase and is 57% full at midday. The full moon will arrive on Monday, the 6th of October. These are the predicted tides today for Horn's Hook. In the early morning, high tide, 4:48 a.m., 1 meter 19. In the later morning, low tide, 10:52 a.m., 37 centimeters. In the evening, high tide, 5:06 p.m., 1 meter 37. At night, low tide, 11:34 p.m., 21 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, the sawtooth oak is a beautiful street tree. It's not very widely planted in the neighborhood, though there are a few streets that have a full line of specimens. On 41st Street, north of Broadway, there is a row of 9 sawtooth oaks. Unlike other oaks, the sawtooth does not have lobed leaves. Long and pointed, they have serrated edges. Their leaves are stout and deep dark green in the growing season. They also have extraordinary acorns. The nuts themselves are relatively small and oval-shaped. Their caps, however, are covered in curly tendrils, like a mop-top wig. Think of what Harpo Marx would look like if he were an acorn. Commemorations. A shameful milestone. On this day in 1938, Britain, France, Germany, and Italy signed the Munich Agreement. It allowed Germany to annex the Sudetenland, which was in Czechoslovakia. It had a majority population of ethnic Germans. The sacrifice of Czechoslovakia to the Nazi regime did not appease Hitler. It only encouraged him. On this day in 1943, the United States Merchant Marine Academy was dedicated by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Located on Kings Point in Great Neck, it trains midshipmen to become officers of large ships. They study marine engineering, navigation, ship's administration, maritime law, personnel management, and international law. On this day in 1968, the first Boeing 747 was rolled out of its hangar and presented to the public at Payne Field in Everett, Washington. Juan Trippe, the president of Pan American World Airways, had pushed for the development of the first jumbo jet. Pan Am ordered 25 of the planes from Boeing. The plane was so large, a special factory building had to be constructed, enclosing 291 million cubic feet. On the day of the unveiling, 26 stewardesses, as they were called at the time, represented the 26 airlines that had joined Pan Am and placed orders for the airliner. They smashed 26 bottles of champagne on its hull, to the roar of the assembled crowd. On this day in the year 1207, Rumi, the Persian mystic and poet, was born, either in what is today Afghanistan or what is today Tajikistan. His family eventually made their way to central Anatolia. He is buried in Konya, Turkey. The Sufi mystic wrote most of his poetry in Persian. He once wrote, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." And he also wrote, "Poetry can be dangerous, especially beautiful poetry, because it gives the illusion of having had the experience without actually going through it." A misbegotten observance. Many mark today as Blasphemy Day, commemorating the day in 2005 when a Danish newspaper printed satirical cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad as a provocation. Although the goals of Blasphemy Day have to do with free expression and freedom from having religion imposed on anyone, the main focus of the celebration seems to be, sadly, to purposely bait Muslims. Decent goals, terrible means, tainted with bigotry. There must be a better way. And that is the Observatory, Tuesday the 30th of September, 2025.